Welcome to this week's edition of Big Talk. Today we are going to be talking about E3 and what we thought about it. I'm King Arthur, this is...
Nego.
And...
Waddy McFly.
Alright, let's begin.
Yes.
So, first of all, what did you guys think... Watson, what did you think about press conferences in general?
I loved most of how everything went. I think there was a lot of really good surprises that were happening. I think Xbox started, and I think a lot of them seemed a little nervous. Although there was a lot of cool stuff they showed, like it just seemed very like kind of tiptoey a little bit. Some people, and they just kind of seemed like, this is what you guys have been giving us a whole bunch of crap for. Here it is, like it please. And it was cool. Like I really liked the Rise. Rise looks pretty sweet for the Xbox. Hopefully it's not too much like cutscenes. But my favorite, and you know, all those press conferences were great. My favorite was obviously the Battlefront, even though it was this tiny little thing. Super excited for that. And then, honestly, my favorite press conference I saw was Ubisoft's press conference. Like even just all around, like they were energetic. They were really excited about everything, and then they just showed so cool, like so many awesome games.
I think that they all had pretty good press conferences. I was really pleased watching it, just because I was just excited that they were finally showing gameplay and not just like, well, this is all the bad stuff that Microsoft is doing, and this is all the Sony stuff that they're not even thinking about. And I don't know, I just like that they were actually focused on what we were watching it for in the first place.
Exactly.
I'm excited for Dead Rising 3.
That looks sweet.
Because I've been waiting, like zombie games is like, I don't know, they're like my favorite subgenre.
Yeah.
And I like killing stuff.
I really like that it looks like it's going to be an actual like open world, like a city game,
Right.
not just like
And there's
in a
no
mall
load
and
time.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Absolutely
so that's going
no
to be
load
awesome.
time. And the weapon crafting looks awesome.
Like on the spot too. Looks like he just like went down and crafted.
He's just like, here, I
That's
found
awesome.
some duct tape and a flashlight,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah, you can survive the zombie apocalypse.
And there's
Roll
so
a duct tape.
many of
Exactly.
them.
Personally, I thought I was impressed by all of them. I mean, obviously there was some stigma going into the Microsoft conference, and then Sony came in and everyone's like, yay! And like, of course, I expected good things out of Ubisoft and EA, and then Nintendo. I was really almost on a very negative note with Nintendo at first. I was just like, oh goodness, Nintendo, what are you going to give us, like 2 games? But I thought they had a pretty good showing despite it all. And yes, it was a Nintendo Direct.
Right, it wasn't like all like, yeah, but I mean it still was pretty cool. And the fact that they did like the Best Buy thing, like where you could play the games, which we went to.
The Nintendo experience.
Yeah, that was a really smart idea. And I really hope other publishers and people like adapt that too, because that would be great to play Watch Dogs before it comes out.
Oh,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
That'd be
Nintendo's
sweet.
always on like a separate playing field, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft and Sony are always just like butting heads with each other, and then Nintendo's just like, hey, we're so cool.
Yeah,
These people are gonna buy us no matter what we do.
Yeah, and then they randomly set a trend with like with the Wii, and everyone's like, now we gotta do that, or we gotta step up.
It's
to
true.
it. So-
Everyone has copied everything like Nintendo. We're going to have 4 buttons on our controller. And Sega Genesis is like, oh yeah? It's like, we're going to have shoulder buttons and analog sticks. And like, that's always been the trend.
Yeah,
and like
true.
motion gaming.
It's
and
nice
now adding
watching
tablets.
the evolution of gaming. You like down to just like the equipment that you
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty
The one thing I wanted to say, I think Sony did a great job at marketing, and Xbox has been beating themselves in their head. But I just love. I'm not really big on like how big they like attacked everything. Although it was funny, I didn't like technically that. I mean that really personal attack, kind of like Microsoft, you're so dumb, you know, kind of thing.
They didn't say Microsoft.
Right,
We knew
but-
they were
But
talking about
they
it.
implied it. I don't know.
I
It
know.
just feels like if you're going to do a presentation about something that like you're personally putting out there,
Yeah.
don't take cheap shots at other people, because then it just feels like that's what you're trying to gain.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like PlayStation or Sony was like, let's look at all the tweets that they're saying bad about Microsoft and let's use it. But it was a good idea, honestly, because
Yeah.
they totally were like used games, not always connected, and so yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get more into that in a little bit. But I really liked how Sony definitely came off as and really hit hard. And Destiny, oh, I forgot about Destiny. That looks awesome. So
That's one of my most excited ones that I watched. On that note, though, I personally think that like when we went to Best Buy and we interviewed a lot of gamers, and a lot of them were almost just disgruntled Xbox fans. In the end, it wasn't, oh, we love Sony and now we hate Microsoft. It was like we loved Microsoft and we felt kind of betrayed by Microsoft. And it's like Sony took advantage of that. They're like, hey guys, come over here.
We love you.
I agree.
Come back
And it was
to
a
us.
good public relations move. All right, next topic. Okay, Megan, start with you. What are some of your games that you were most excited to see?
Definitely Dead Rising 3, which I've already said,
Yeah.
and Kingdom Hearts. I am so excited that it's not just on one console. That was really cool because I was like, I'm leaning towards Microsoft. That's where like my loyalty has been for the past few years. And then now that I'll be able to play it and not have to buy a PS4 just to play this one game that I've been waiting the last 7 or 8 years
It's been
for.
a while, yeah.
And the coolest part about it is because now that Disney owns Marvel, I'm like, please have a superhero. Please have somebody,
That could be
anybody.
interesting.
Yeah, it's really and Star Wars too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing different characters in that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool if they made like little cameos like they usually do.
Okay, Watson.
I've already mentioned a few. Watch Dogs. I've been waiting for that for a while. Assassin's Creed, even though that'll be for all. Now you're talking about like on the new consoles or just in general?
Had to have been talked about at E3.
Okay, technically Grand Theft Auto was talked about at E3.
All right, we'll give you
Okay, Grand Theft Auto. I'm a huge Grand Theft Auto fan, and it looks super awesome. I really liked, like I said, Rise and Destiny. Ubisoft released a new gameplay trailer, which it wasn't even like a trailer, which I loved. It was just right out the bat, just gameplay, which I think you should always do. Is The Division. Like, that looks awesome. Did you guys see that? It's like post-apocalyptic. You're like this soldier type dude that's like, you gotta like, it looks like you can upgrade your weapons and you go and explore different like places and you meet up and you accidentally run into like another like faction, it looks like. Then you just like take them down. Oh, it looks so cool. So hopefully it'll work out. And I really like in general how most games are now going a lot more open world. Like The Witcher is going open world,
Yeah.
which is going to
Dead
attract
Rising
me more.
3.
Dead Rising 3. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, there definitely seems to be a trend in open world and some sort of multiplayer co-op experience along with the single player. Which brings me to one of my favorite games, Titanfall and
oh my
Destiny.
Gosh.
Titanfall.
Titanfall is going to be so cool.
All I have to say about Titanfall is you can, okay, so you're fighting in two big mechs shooting at each other, then you eject, fly 100 feet into the air, jump down onto another Titan and take it out.
Yeah.
That sold it for me.
That game.
All right, you can only choose one console. PC doesn't count, even though I'm a huge PC gamer fan. And Nintendo, let's face it, Nintendo's a completely different game anyway. But between Xbox and PS4, which one would you choose, Watson?
Well, here's the deal. I am still on the fence, and I know that it's gonna be a time where I'm gonna have to get off it. But this is why. So everyone's complaining about the things with Xbox. So first off, Xbox is more expensive than PS4. But with PS4, I mean, so let's see. Xbox is going to be $499. Is that right?
Yeah.
$499. PS4 is going to be $399. So that's great, and everyone's like, "Wow, they're so different." But the thing is PS4 doesn't come with that package. Doesn't come with the camera. Like, that's separate. So that's like $60 more. And I think it's actually $69.99.
Are they still
I'll
going with the
Something.
PlayStation Move? Is that still what they're...
That's basically kind of what it is. But it looks pretty good. You show me, and it looks pretty sweet. So I want that. So if I do get the PS4, I'm going to want that. So I'm going to buy that. Then on top of that, they talked about how online you're going to have all these great features for free on PS4, which is going to be awesome. And you're still going to be able to play for free. At least that's what I've heard.
Not online.
But your
Oh,
network's
see, okay.
not
So
free.
even this, so
Yeah.
even that, so that's good. So you're not going to be able to play online for free, apparently, according to you.
Yeah.
With PS4, so you have to get that. So it's going to end up being the same price, basically, as the Xbox. And sure, you're going to have to get a subscription too, but that's going to be whatever price. So really, in my mind, I'm like, okay, that doesn't matter. Price doesn't matter. So they're at even.
So then what distinguishes those two consoles in your mind?
The only thing that's really distinguishing right now, and is me pushing more for PS4 right now, is used games. I'm huge on used games. Like, I love to beat like 4 or 5 games, trade it in, and get something brand new. And I love borrowing games from friends and stuff like that. Now, if it's true about the Xbox, where they're talking about, sharing your game, but only with a certain amount of people after a certain amount of days, or whatever they're saying, we'll figure out more when that comes in.
I want a PS4 mostly because of the exclusives, and it's cheaper. I don't care for the Kinect, so I don't want to pay $100 extra for it.
We'll see any exclusives. Most of them, really, the exclusives that they've shown, at least for me, aren't like gripping, because most of them have just been like not much gameplay footage. And then Kingdom Hearts comes out and Metal Gear, and now they're on both consoles. So it's what the heck? And
I thought it was kind of funny though when everyone's like, Sony just killed Microsoft as soon as they announced Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm like, joke's on you guys, because I get it too.
And then IGN's like, sorry guys.
Well, and here's the funny thing is there's so many exclusives that like they're just timed exclusives. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a month later, 6 months later, they're on the other console anyway. Yeah. So I don't really think that even exclusives for the most part is a huge deal. Having a PC helps a lot to get whatever Microsoft exclusives there were. Yeah. And so that's why I don't need the Xbox for me personally. But what do you I mean, we know what you want. Tell us.
Well, like, I don't know. I've had an Xbox for like 5 years or so. I used to have PlayStation and PlayStation 2. I mean, like, I personally don't have an issue with Sony. I'm just used to having an Xbox. And the way that I see it, with all of the stuff that Microsoft is doing right now that people who are for Sony are worried about or angry at Microsoft about, Microsoft tends to make business decisions prematurely, and Sony always follows suit. Like Sony was like, okay, well, online play is always going to be free. But now what are they doing? They just keep going back on promises. So the way I see it, as far as DRM goes and loose games, I just think that they're going to end up the same way anyway. So I'm on the fence also, but I'm leaning towards something that I'm already used to. Microsoft has always been upfront, like, we're expensive, you have to pay for this, 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 and this. But Sony, on the other hand, is like, oh no, we'll never do that. Let's please the consumer at the start. And then we're just going to slowly ease them into all the things that they didn't want to begin with.
See,
that's the way that...
that makes it sound like they're very deceptive and manipulative. I don't buy that at all.
I don't know, they're pretty quiet.
No. They are pretty quiet, actually. Microsoft had all this hype built up around it the whole time. So they're like, they were going for the good publicity, the bad, and then eventually they're just kind of like trying to clear the air. I think they might have dug a little bit too deep this time. But Sony was just like...
Let's just let
How
Microsoft
about that weather?
But that was a really good business move on their part.
Crowd-pleasing E3, their conference was really crowd-pleasing. Everyone was like all for it then. I think they're going to just slowly start easing people into the stuff that they didn't want to hear about then, which is where Microsoft
and here's the thing with that is like, there was the interview that everyone talked about, and Sony made a big deal about here's how you turn games, that funny little video, which was great, but. Here's the thing, if they were talking about EA, like let's say because EA is really big with Xbox. So let's say EA was like, wow, I really like how there's no like used games and how I can use the cloud and make things look awesome. I'm going to have that required for all our games. Sony does not have any say when it comes to that.
It's true, the publishers are going to do whatever they want in the end.
So they can't make a big deal about that. Like they can't make a big deal about the giving of the games when they don't have. I mean, okay, they're not making it required, so that is on to them. But what if eventually all these games, like you say,
publishers, developers have the permission to do that? So at least Microsoft has the ball in their court, but Sony's kind of like, oh yeah, we'll let someone else decide. So we're not forcing this upon people because they obviously don't like it. So they were really good about the way that they marketed their whole press conference and everything. Yeah. But I feel like in the next couple months before their release, we're going to learn a lot more.
So, thank you for watching our big talk. I hope you listened to the whole thing. If so, you get a gold star.
Ding.
It's a figurative gold star. We don't have any to give out. I'm sorry. But if we did, we would give them out.
And don't forget to comment
below. Please, comment, tell us what you think.
And we will respond.
We will.
We'll be on there.
Yeah.
We'll be there, waiting for you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
We love you.